Hi students, good morning to all of you, and I hope you are all aware about the topic that we are studying. We are studying about the climate of our country, and we said in the other classes which are the winds that are affecting the climate of our country. Because of the movement of this wind blowing in different directions, we get rain, we get the different temperatures in different parts of the country and so on. And the presence of the sea also is influencing, because we have a long sea coast is there, so that's presence of the sea or the ocean that also is influencing the climate of our country. And we said the climate we have is monsoon climate. India's climate is known as monsoon climate. So because of this monsoon climate, in our country we experience 4 seasons. That's what we are going to study today. We are experiencing 4 seasons in our country. So you can follow by taking the page 31 in your textbook. Take page number 31, the seasons. So the monsoon type of climate is characterized by a distinct seasonal pattern. So this we said we have got this monsoon climate, and that is characterized by a very distinct seasonal pattern. So one season is different from another season. Then the weather conditions greatly change from one season to the other. The weather conditions are changing from one season to the other. Then these changes are particularly noticeable in the interior parts of our country. So these changes of this climate or changes of the season, even in the interior parts of our country, we will be able to notice it because it is so much visible. And the coastal areas do not experience much variation in temperature because of the influence of the sea coast. So I already said, because of the presence of the ocean, the coastal areas, they do not have that experience of the variation in temperature, whether it is night or day, or whether it is summer or winter, they experience somewhat same temperature. Then how many seasons are experienced in your place? So we will be able to tell each one of you. You are coming from different districts, and so the climate that you experience in your own place may be different. So each one of you will be able to say in a year how many type of climate you are able to experience. So in general, when we say India is experiencing 4 types of climates, 4 types of seasons, we can say. We can say one is the cold weather season. The first season is the cold weather seasons. Second one is the hot weather season. So cold weather and hot weather. Then the advancing monsoon season. So the season just before the monsoon arrival. And also the retreating monsoon with some regional variation. And after 2-3 months the monsoon will be withdrawing. So that is another season. So these are the 4 seasons we can say that we experienced in our country. So 2 of them are connected with weather, cold weather and hot weather. Another 2 are connected with monsoon. So pre-monsoon and the post-monsoon, after the retreating of the monsoon, that time. So let us see them one by one. First let us see the cold weather season. The cold weather. The cold weather season. So the cold weather season begins from mid-November in northern India and stays till February. So in North India, So in North India it starts from mid-November and it goes up to February. So that is the cold climate experience in the north of India. So it starts from half November, mid-November, half November, maybe 15th, second week of November, and it goes up to February. So people who are living in the north, they experience this severe cold weather from middle of November to February. So almost 3.5 months we can say they experience the severe cold. Then December and January are the coldest months in the northern part of India. So during this cold weather, the people of north experience the severest cold during December and January. So in the November it is just beginning and the February it will be getting over, but the solid part of the winter season is in December and November. And the temperature decreases from south to the north. So as we go from South India to North India, the temperature is decreasing. So during this cold weather, which part of India will have high temperature? The north or the south? The south will have high temperature. As we go higher and higher to the northern side, the temperature becomes low and low. That's why it becomes more cold. So people of South India, they do not experience very severe winter. But people of North India, they experience very severe winter. It is due to the variation of temperature. As we move towards south, towards north, the temperature becomes low and low. And the average temperature of Chennai on the eastern coast. So the eastern coast of India, the Chennai, that is in the southeast. If you go there, the average temperature in Chennai is 24 degree to 25 degree. So it is not very hot and not very cold. They are experiencing very normal weather. It is between 24 to 25 degrees Celsius. While if you go to the northern plains, the region is experiencing temperature between 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. So in Chennai it is 24 to 25, but if you go to northern side, the temperature is between 10 to 15. So it is very low. 10 means very low. It is very cold there. And days are warm and nights are cold. So another speciality of this season, the cold weather season, is that the nights are cold, but during the day it is hot. So in the winter, if they go and stand outside, they feel very hot. They start perspiring. But during the night, inside the house, it becomes very cold again. So there is a high temperature difference is there. During the day, it is high temperature, and during the night, very low temperature. So they experience very extreme temperatures in the day and night. Then frost is common in the north. So because of this low temperature, during the night what happens? The frost is falling, like a snowfall. It falls everywhere. So it is very common. And the higher slopes of the Himalayas experience snowfall. So the north, the higher slopes or higher parts of this Himalaya mountain, they are experiencing snowfall. Every day there is snowfall, because the higher it goes, the lower the temperature becomes. So Himalaya and so will be below 0 degree, and so every day the snowfall is there. Then during this season, the northeast trade winds prevail over the country. So during this season, the cold season, what is the wind that is blowing in our country? It is a northeast trade wind. What is this northeast trade wind? It is a very steady and blowing from west to east, blowing from west to east. That is the type of wind that is called the northeast trade wind. So they blow from land to sea, and hence most of the country it is a dry season. So during this season we experience the northeast trade wind, and the speciality of this wind is that it is blowing from land to the sea. Suppose the wind is blowing from the sea to the land, it will be bringing a lot of cool winds, cool air, moisture, and the people will be able to experience coolness. But this wind is blowing from land to the sea, therefore it is a dry wind. It is not getting any moisture, and therefore it is a very dry wind. During this season it is blowing from land to the sea, and therefore it is a dry season. And it is a dry, and some amount of rainfall occurs on the Tamil Nadu coast from these winds, as here they blow from sea to land. So in the North India they are blowing from land to the sea and making all that area very dry. But when they reach the south, they start blowing from sea to the land. And so it is especially taking place in Tamil Nadu side, and therefore the people of Tamil Nadu, they experience a little bit of rain by this northeast trade wind, because it is blowing from sea to the land in that area, only in the Tamil Nadu region. Other places it is blowing from the land to the sea. So the difference, where when the wind blows from sea to the land, the area becomes cool, they receive rainfall and so on. But when the wind is blowing from land to the sea, it is making all that area very dry. And in the northern part of the country, a feeble high pressure region develops. So because of this, during this season in the North India side, there is a high pressure is formed there. A high pressure region forms, but not very strong high pressure, very feeble. Feeble means very weak, but high pressure region is formed. And with light winds moving outwards from this area. So we know what will happen if there is a high pressure. The air will start moving from where there is high pressure to the place where there is low pressure. So in this North India, there is a high pressure is formed, therefore the air starts moving to another place where there is a low pressure. And influenced by the relief, these winds blow through the Ganga Valley from the west and the northwest, and the weather is normally marked by clear sky, low temperatures and low humidity and feeble variable winds. So because of this high pressure, the area is able to get a little bit of cool breeze. But at the same time, other places like Ganga Valley and so, they are able to experience this relief of the wind. And in general we can say the country experiences very clear sky during this winter season. There is not much clouds in the sky. You are able to experience very clear sky, and the temperatures are very low. During the cold season the temperatures are low, and the humidity also is low. The humidity in the air, in the atmosphere is very low, and there are small feeble weak winds are there, variable, not steadily always moving in different directions and so. So that is a speciality that we experience during this cold winter season time. And a characteristic feature of this cold weather season over the northern plains is the inflow of cyclonic disturbances from west to the northwest. So another thing, if you talk about the North India, feel or we experience that there is an inflow of cyclonic disturbances. We earlier said about different winds which are called cyclonic disturbances, and these winds are blowing towards the northern plain. And what happens? These low pressure systems originate over Mediterranean Sea and Western Asia and move into India along with westerly flow. So these cyclonic disturbances or the cyclonic winds that are formed in the ocean, and they mainly originate in the Mediterranean Sea and then they move to the Western Asia and then they move to India along with the westerly flow. So there is a wind moving towards India, the westerly flow. So these cyclonic disturbances also join with them and move towards India during this season. And they cause the much needed winter rains over the plains and snowfall in the mountains. So these westerly rains, westerly winds and the cyclonic disturbances, they flow towards India, and as they are moving from sea, they bring a lot of relief. They cause a lot of rainfall, the much needed rainfall, because during the winter it is a very dry season and people, especially people who are cultivating rabi crops, they cultivate in the winter but they need some water. So when these cyclonic disturbances together with the westerly flow is blowing towards India, it is causing a light rainfall. So that is a very good thing. It's bringing a very great relief to the farmers, people who are cultivated rabi crops. So otherwise their crops were becoming dry. So suddenly this rain comes and their farm is refreshed. They get irrigated by this natural rain. And the plain, they give rain, and in the mountain tops, what do they give? They give a lot of snowfall. So either in the form of snowfall on the mountains or in the form of rainfall in the plain, the farmers are experiencing a much needed rain, much needed water during this cold season, and we have to be grateful to this wind, westerly flow, as well as the cyclonic disturbances. And although the total amount of winter rainfall locally known as Mahavat, you can underline the rain that people get during this winter season, that is called Mahavat. So it is not a very great amount, but it is very small, but they are of immense importance. So even if that rain is not a very heavy rain, not bringing lot of water, but it is able to satisfy the farmers to a certain extent, especially people who are already started the rabi crops. It is very much essential, and they have been waiting for this rain in order to wet their field and irrigate their plants and so on. Then the peninsula, so long we are talking about the North India. So the winter is experienced in the North India is much more severely than the South India. So in the peninsula region does not have a well-defined cold season. So the peninsula region, that is the lower part of India, the southern part of India, they do not experience a very severe winter, and there is hardly any noticeable seasonal change in temperature pattern. So there is not much change in the temperature of this peninsula plateau. And during winters, and due to the moderating influence of the sea, so during the winter they do not experience much difference in the temperature. So whether it is day or night, somewhat the temperature remains same. What could be the reason why is the temperature remains same in the South India or in the Peninsula region? It is because the region is surrounded by ocean. So the presence of ocean is helpful in regulating the temperatures. So in the North India we saw during the day the temperature comes very high. You can say day is very hot and nights are very cold. But if you go to south, whether it is day or night, there is no much difference. The temperature there is maybe a slight variation may be there, a slight difference may be there, but not much. So that shows that India, it has got such a vast area, and therefore the people in different parts they experience different climates. Though we say it is a cold season for all, the people of South India they don't feel much cold, while the people of North India is experiencing severe cold. And because of this northeast wind blowing from land to the sea, it also makes the land more dry. And while the same wind goes around and enters into Tamil Nadu coast, it is bringing rain, because meanwhile it is entering into the sea and carry a lot of moisture and then bring rain. And there is also another wind called Cyclonic Disturbances, and together with the westerly flow it is going towards the north, and it is, since it is blowing from the ocean, it is carrying a lot of moisture, and it is causing a light rainfall in the plain region and a light snowfall in the mountain regions. So the severe winter is there, yet they receive a light rainfall, and it is very useful and very helpful for the farmers. While we come down to the South India, we realize the temperatures are very normal, not too high, not too extreme, and people don't experience severe cold there. So that is about the cold weather or the winter season in North India as well as in South India. So people of South India, they don't know much about the winter, they don't experience much. But the people of North India, they experience severe winter, and so that is the variety of climate that people of India experience. So we shall wind up for today, and the next class we shall see about the opposite, the hot weather season in our country we shall see. So today we are winding up, and thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.